Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Temple Rodeph Torah. It's good to see you all here on this beautiful fall Shabbat. And definitely is fall. Shabbat is a time of gratitude. Shabbat is a time when we stop worrying about what we don't have, what we haven't earned yet, and instead we take time to appreciate the blessings we have in our lives. And so before we start this service where we go to prayers that were written by other people and some written very long ago, we need to think for a minute about what the blessings are in our lives that we are grateful for today. So we're going to start with some group participation here. What are the blessings that you have in your lives? I'm going to ask you to share, and we actually won't start the service till we have a really nice list. So bragging is completely allowed at this part of the service. So who'd like to start with a blessing that you have in your life? Yes? Your husband. So let me expand this a little bit to say, if you have a relationship, if you have a partner whom you love, I'm going to ask you to say three words. Can you say modim? Anachnu? Lach. Which means we thank you, God. So if you have a loving relationship with a partner, please join with me. Modim anachnu lach. Thank you. Other blessings? Yes?
The safety of my sister in North Carolina.
Yes. So again, I'll expand that beyond your sister. If we have friends, relatives, or just know the communities that were under such threat and such danger, and seeing them coming out now, almost all intact, not all, but all, if we're grateful the fact that the storm decided to go this way, I won't even mention about whether it hit Alabama. Leave that one aside completely. If we're grateful for the safety of loved ones, then join with me. Modim anachnu lach. Thank you. Others? Yes, sir.
Our children and our grandchildren.
Amen. If you are blessed with loving children or grandchildren, or if you happen to be a loving child or grandchild, join with me. Modim anachnu lach. Thank you. Others? Sir.
My wife is being cured of her cancer, and she has wonderful support from University of Pennsylvania and Philadelphia. And I'm very thankful
So
for all that's going on.
my grandmother, may she rest in peace, years ago said this thing that I thought was sure, Grandma, sure, when she said, as long as you've got your health. Right? As I've gotten older, I've realized the wisdom in what she was saying. So anyone who is blessed with good health, or you see the promise of good health for a loved one, join with me. Modim anachnu lach. Thank you. Yes. An education. Thank you. If you are blessed with a good education, and by the way, you may be in the middle of it right now and not necessarily see its blessing at this moment, but trust me, give it a couple of years, it's going to matter. So if you are blessed with a good education, join with me. Modim anachnu lach. Thank you. Yes?
For all those who have talent, whether it be sports, music, art, or whatever.
For talent. For the ability in Hebrew to do something. In Hebrew, the word is kisharon. Comes from the word kosher. It actually means to be able to set something right. So if you have a talent, I'm not going to ask you what it is. Let's say thank you. Modim anachnu lach. Thank you very much. Yes?
I'm grateful and thankful for the simcha today with our family and friends.
For today's celebration, everyone who is grateful to be here on this beautiful Shabbat morning to celebrate, join with me. Modim anachnu lach. Good, let's get one or two more. Yes? Sense of community. Oh, I love that. If you, whether you're part of the Rodeph Torah community, or you're part of a synagogue, church, mosque community, if you have a group of friends that you're close with, that you feel community, that you feel supported by others around you, then let's say thank you. Modim anachnu lach. Wonderful. Let's get one more. Anyone from over there want to? Yes? Nice. So if you are blessed with really, really good friendships, join with me. Modim anachnu lach. That's really wonderful. I'm going to add just one more, and I see the food baskets here that the Fuchs have provided. We take for granted the abundance of food that we have in our lives. I would say, and you need to think about this, 2/3 of the world's population, if they were to walk into any of our local supermarkets, they would fall to the ground in disbelief at what they see. You and I don't know most of you, but you and I, the biggest food decision we have is, do I want to eat that or that or that or that? I'm guessing that very few of us have to make the decision of which of my children will I feed today and which will go hungry, whether I will eat today or not, how many miles I'm going to have to walk to try to get food. Food security is such a basic blessing that we take for granted. So as we look at the baskets of food that are going to be donated to people that don't have any, think about the blessing of food security and join with me in saying thank you. Modim anachnu la. So that was a nice list. That's a good start. As we go through the service today, please, I encourage you to think through your own lives and think about the blessings you have, the ones we take for granted. Because if you watch enough TV, if you look at enough advertisements, you can be convinced that you won't be happy until you buy that product or drive that car or use that toothpaste. And it's wrong. It's simply wrong. You and I will be happy when we choose to be happy with what we have. And when we stop and count our blessings, if only on Shabbat, maybe even more often in a week, we start to realize that those things are extra and we don't need them. There is so much in our lives to be grateful for, so much to say thank you for, that for me personally, my heart is filled with praise just getting up in the morning. And so there's a blessing we Jews say when we get up in the morning. It says, Moda Ani, thank you, God. Thank you for giving me today to be alive. The words to Moda Ani are at the bottom of page 288. Men say Modeh Ani, women say Moda Ani, and both of them mean, we thank you, God, for this day. As you learn the melody, please join with us.
Modeh ani lefanecha, melech chai v'kayam, shechezata b'nishmati bechem la, rabba emunatecha. Modeh ani lefanecha, melech chai v'kayam, shechezata b'nishmati bechem la, rabba emunatecha.
As you said, many of us are here today to celebrate with Julia. And now that we're here, we have a job, all of us. Our job this morning is to become a congregation. Now, a congregation is very different from an audience. An audience is a group of people that comes to watch a performance. We sit quietly and politely and applaud at the end. Don't do any of that. A congregation is a group of people that comes together from many different backgrounds, many different traditions, and joins together to become one voice praising God. Now, for us to be a congregation this morning, we need to be part of this service and not watch it. So I call your attention to the Siddur, to the prayer books. Everything that we do in Hebrew is in transliteration and also available in English underneath it. And we ask you please to join with us, to read with us, to sing with us. Thank you, Vanna.
Thank you.
As much as you want to hear Julia, please understand that she wants to hear you that much too. If you're all quiet while she does this, it's pretty terrifying to be up here. First, honestly, we wonder if you're still alive. Second, it's like speaking into a big, empty chasm. But when we fill this room with song and prayer, it turns into a joyful sound and we turn into a congregation. So please, throughout the service, if at any point you're thinking of going, shh, 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 we want to hear her, don't do that. Instead, go louder. She wants to hear us. Okay. Okay, so nice and loudly. The one thing we'd appreciate not hearing would be cell phones. So if you could take a minute, please, and turn them to silent, turn them off, whatever. The melody that usually starts in the middle of the service is when the saints come marching in, and so put them on silent. That would be really wonderful. If anyone is having difficulty hearing me, please speak to one of our ushers and request a hearing assist device. We're happy to loan it to you. It's very hard for you to be part of the entire service if you can't hear us clearly, so we'd love to loan it to you so you can hear and be part of what we do. So today, as we go through our service, we thank God. We thank God for all the blessings we have, for everything we have right at this moment, that if we did not receive one more thing, we would still be wealthy beyond words. And with that, our hearts are filled with prayer. We turn to page 293. As Julia leads us in Nisim B'chol Yom, thanks to God for blessings that occur every day. She will read them, sing them responsibly, Hebrew, English, and as you learn the pattern, please join with her.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan l'sekvi beina l'chavhin bein yon uvein laila. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who opens the eyes of the blind. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim.
Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who frees the fallen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam roka haaretz al hamayim. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who strengthens our steps. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who gives strength to the weary. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hama'avir sheina me'enai utuma me'af apai. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who made me in the image of God. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani be'kori. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who has made me a Jew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer Yisrael bevrura. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who crowns Israel with splendor. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage with words of Torah. We continue on page 312.
With the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitkadal vikras shemei rabba, be'amad yifachrete be'amich malchute, bechayechon v'yomechon, u'chai lechol bet Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, u'vizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yeshmei rabba mevarach, La'alamu al me'al maya. Yitbarach ve'ishtabach v'yitbahar b'tzoman v'yitnaseh v'yithadan v'yitalevit al shemei l'kudusha b'richu le'ila min kol bechata v'shirata tush bechata v'nechemata damiran belma v'imru. Amen. If you are so able, please stand on page 313.
For who
middle of page 313.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvorei choshech, oseh shalom uvorei et hakol, hameir la'aretz, v'ladarim la'leha berachamim, uvtuvo mechadesh bechol yom tamid, ma'aseh v'reshit, ma'rabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam bechokma asita, mal'a ha'aretz kinyanecha, titbarach Adonai Eloheinu, al shevach ma'aseh yadecha, ve'al me'orei or she'asita, yiv'arucha selah, or chadash al Sion ta'ir, v'nizkeh chulanu mehera la'oro. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'ma'orot. We continue on page 317. O God, inspiration and guide for all, you have spoken in 1,000 tongues for us to hear, in every land and every age. Your children have heard you and imagined you in separate ways. And yet, O God, you are one, unifier of humanity. We give thanks for the sages and teachers who bring us understanding of your will. Gratefully, we recall the lawgivers and prophets, the psalmists and sages of Israel. And joyfully, we remember that from the dawn of Israel's life, we would turn to you and find purpose. May the teachings of our ancestors live on in our minds, and their passion for righteousness stir our hearts. Help us to live so that our daily conduct reveals the beauty of wisdom of your truth. Baruch atah Adonai, havocher ba'amor Yisrael be'ahava. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated. Love Adonai your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all my mitzvot so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect. The song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content. Her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha ne'edar b'chodesh, norat tehilo oseh feleh, shera chadesha shebechol ge'ulim, לשמחה אספת היום, יחד כולם הודו, והמליכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Rock of Israel, rise in support of Israel, and redeem Judah and Israel as you promised. Our Redeemer, Adonai Tzivot, is your name. Blessed are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Goel Yisrael. Please rise. Adonai sifatav tivta ufiagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zoker Hastadavot V'Imahot, Umevi Geulam L'Nev Nevhem, L'Ma'an Shema Ve'Ahava, Melech Ozir Umashia Umagin, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mengen Avraham Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mekayeh Hakol Atah Rafa Shia, Marid Atah, Mechochel Ha'im Bechesed, Mekayeh Hakol Berachamim Ramim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umechayeh Emunato L'Shenei Afar, Micha Mocha Ba'agivuro, Umido Melech, Melech Mimi, Umechayeh, Umatzmi Ageshua, V'ne'eman Atah L'Hahayod Hakol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayeh Hakol.
Continuing on page 326. Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וכרז אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ, כבודו. אדיר, אדירנו, אדוני, אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם. אלוהיך ציון, לדור ודור. הללויה, לדור ודור, לדור ודור. לדור ודור נגיד גוד לך, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גוד לך. ונצח נצחים, ונצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו, מפינו לא ימוש, לעולם, לעולם ועד. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גוד לך, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גוד לך. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. Please be seated. Keep it up.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledor temerit olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledor temerit olam. B'nei uven b'nei Yisrael ohi le'olam ohi le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledor temerit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai Hashamayim va'et ha'aretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledor temerit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledor temerit olam. The meaning of Shabbat is to celebrate time rather than space. 6 days a week, we live under the tyranny of things of space. On Shabbat, we try to become attuned to holiness and time. It is a day on which we are called upon to share in what is eternal in time, to turn from the results of creation to the mystery of creation, from the world of creation to the creation of the world. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. On this Shabbat day, as you graciously receive our prayers, help us to hear your call. Grant us enough health to fulfill our duties and the compassion we need to attend to others. Teach us humility that we may perceive our own faults, and grant us the wisdom to be forgiving of others. Give us the courage to be true to our highest selves and the charity to see the best in those around us. Give patience enough not to become discouraged, hope enough to overcome all fears for the future, and faith enough to know your presence. O source of blessing, look with favor upon us. May our offerings be acceptable to you. We praise you, Adonai, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'orcha levadcha v'yireh na'avod. We continue on the middle of page 332.
And we invite the readers to come forward.
For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations. Modim anachnu lach. For this fragile planet Earth, its times and tides, its sunsets and seasons, Modim anachnu lach. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements, Modim anachnu lach. For human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression, Modim anachnu lach. For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared, Modim anachnu lach. For all who have been labored and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom, Modim anachnu lach. For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose, Modim anachnu lach. We pray that we may live not by our fears but by our hopes, not by our words, but by our deeds. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shemcha ucha ne'eh lehodot. O God, may we never become complacent, faltering in our effort to build a world of peace, faltering in our effort to build a world of peace. Let the nations know and understand that justice and right are better than dominion and conquest. May all come to see that it is not by might nor by power, but by your Spirit that life prevails. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, havorach et amo Yisrael b'shalom. We now pray silently to page 337. Oh, say shalom bimromav, huya say shalom aleinu, ve'alcho Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Ya say shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'alcho Yisrael, ya say shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'acho Yisrael. Ya say shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'acho Yisrael. Ya say shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'acho Yisrael.
Our rabbis taught the world stands on three things: on study, on prayer, and on deeds of loving kindness. Al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed. The words to Al shlosha devarim are on page 367, the second paragraph down from the top. And to join with Julia, we invite Lila Lindquist and her entire religious school class.
Ashlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Ashlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Ashlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Ashlosha devarim, Ha'olam, ha'olam, omed. Aha Torah ve'al havodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Aha Torah ve'al havodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Ashlosha devarim. Ashlosha devarim. Ha'olam omed. Ashlosha devarim. Ha'olam, ha'olam, omed. Ashlosha devarim. Ashlosha devarim. Ha'olam omed. Ashlosha devarim. Ashlosha devarim. Ha'olam omed. Ashlosha devarim.
Please turn now to page 362 as we begin Seder Kriyat HaTorah, and we call Joseph and Teresa Shivo to come forward to open the ark. Come right over. See her stand right here. Don't open it yet. You stand on each side, face up to the congregation. When we come over, you open the ark. We'll take out the Torah, you'll close it. And we'll stay right here. We'll come back to your hands.
All right. Once again, page 362. If you are so able, please rise. Ein kamocha ve'Elohim Adonai, ve'ein kema'asecha, malchutecha malchut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imloch, le'olam ha'ed. Adonai oz v'moitein, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Al harachamim et yivarech sonecha et Zion. Tivnei komot Yerushalayim. Tivnei komot Yerushalayim. Ki recha levai vatachnu. Melech el ram v'nisha Adon olamim.
364.
Tetzei Torah, ki mitzion, tetzei Torah, u'dvar Adonai mirushalayim.
366.
Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, l'amo Yisrael, b'kedushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Galul Adonai iti, Omerom Nema Shemo Yachdav. Echad Adonai, HaGedola, HaGedola, HaTiferet, VeHaNetzach, VeHaHod, Kimo HaShamayim Tuvaret, Kimo HaShamayim Tuvaret. Adonai, Amar Ha'achas, VeAmina Aseh,
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
We call to the Bima for Aliot, Alice Fuchs, Russell Fuchs, Leo Evans, Abby, Glenn, and Tara. To undress the Torah, Andrea Zeltzer. To dress the Torah, Beth Monsher. And to hold the Torah, Matthew Jorgensen. Okay. Undresser. So we need Andrea. Here. Andrea. You put them on that. There you go. Thank you. Much closer to the water. Thank you. Andrea, you lie them down. They will fall. Yeah. Hand that to our pot. That's the girl, please. Yeah, she comes in handy. Please be seated. This week we read from Parashat Shoftim in the middle of the book of Dvarim, Deuteronomy. We are into the last book of the Torah. We will end the cycle of reading Torah at the end of the last of the high holidays on Simchat Torah.
Yeehaw.
And so in this section, Moses is acting like most every parent when they're sending their kid off to summer camp. In the last 3 minutes before they get on the bus, we try to remind them of everything we've ever taught them. Be nice to people, be sure to brush your teeth, don't forget to do this, don't forget to do this, do your laundry once a month, all those things are important to do when you go to camp. Moses does exactly the same thing in Dvarim. He says, you're going on, this is going to be without me. Remember this, remember this, remember this. And so this entire section is filled with things we've heard before in the Torah, but they come because every parent wants to be sure that the kids really remembered what they were taught. And it's fitting that with this portion, we call Julia to the Torah for the first time as a bat mitzvah. For it is our hope that we all get to continue with her on her journey for a way, but then it's actually our hope that she gets to continue on after us, to see things that we can only dream of and perhaps can't dream of, but that as she goes and sees these new things and enters the new world of the future, we pray that she will bring with her the lessons that she learned from us along the way.
יעמדו אלקחנה בת משה אהרון ורבקה ומתתיהו בן ישראל לעלייה הראשונה.
Alice and Russell, Rick, why don't you come over here? It'll be easier.
Baruch et Adonai Baruch.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Olam Vaed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bocha b'lanu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai nosein haTorah.
Amen. Would you hold this, please?
Ki achrit Adonai Elohecha et hagoyim asher Adonai Elohecha noten lecha et artsam v'rishtam v'yashavta v'arehem uvotehem shalosh arim tavdil lach betoch artscha asher Adonai Elohecha noten lecha l'rishta tachin lecha haderech v'shilashta et gevul artscha asher yanhilcha Adonai Elohecha v'haya lanus shema chol rotzeach.
Glad to be of service. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'deshukenu. Baruch atah Adonai nosein haTorah.
Amen. Mazel tov. Will you stay back right here with your family? You're not going. It's okay.
יעמדו לוי יצחק בן ירמיהו גרשון ושרה לאה ואביגיל רבקה בת שמואל ודודי לי לאריה השני.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
V'zeh debar harotzeach asher yanus shema v'chai asher yakeh et re'ehu bevli da'at v'hu lo sonei lo mitmol shilshom v'asher yaveh et re'ehu v'ya'ar lach tov eitzim v'nidcha yado begruzen likro ha'etz v'nashal havo rozel min ha'etz v'matzah et re'ehu v'mor hu v'meit hu yanus el achat ha'arim ha'eleh v'chai pen Rodeph go el hadam achar harotzeach ki yacham levavo v'hishigo ki yirbeh haderech v'hikihu nefesh v'lo ein mishpat mivet ki lo sonei hu lo mitmol shilshom.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
יעמדו שמואל בן מתתיהו ואלקחנה ודודי לי בעת אברהם ושרה לעלייה השלישי.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarach.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai notei ha'Torah.
Amen.
Al hin anuchi mitzavcha la'amor shalosh arim tavdil lach ve'im yirchav Adonai Elohecha et gevucha ke'asher nishba la'avotecha v'natan lecha et chol ha'aretz asher debar latet la'avotecha ki tishmor et chol hamitzvah hazot la'asita asher anoki mitzavcha hayom la'ahava et Adonai Elohecha v'lali ket b'yad rachav chol hamayim v'yasavta lecha od shalosh arim al hashalosh ha'eleh.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayim olam nata b'neinu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. שמואל ודודי לי, המחורה, בת המצווה.
Yitzchak.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Habarach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu michol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notei HaTorah.
Amen.
V'lo yishpach dam naki b'kerev artzcha asher Adonai Elohecha natan lecha nechala v'chaya alecha damim v'ki yiyeh iyosh sonei l're'ehu v'arav lo v'kim alav v'hikihu nefesh v'meit v'nas el achat ha'arim ha'ela v'shalchu ziknei aro v'lakahu oto misham v'natanu oto biyad goel hadam v'meit. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam neta b'tzolchenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Siman Tov,
Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov,
Siman Tov,
Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov.
When the eternal your God has cut down the nations whose land the eternal your God is assigning to you, and you have dispossessed them and settled in their own towns and homes, you shall set aside 3 cities in the land that the eternal your God is giving you to possess. You shall survey the distances and divide into 3 parts the territory of the country that the eternal your God has allotted to you, so that any male killer may have a place to flee to. Now this is the case of the killer who may flee there and live, one who has slain a fellow Israelite unwittingly without having been an enemy in the past. For instance, a man goes with another fellow into a grove to cut wood. As his hand swings the axe to cut down a tree, the axe head flies off the handle and strikes the other so that he dies. The man shall flee to one of these cities and live. Otherwise, when the distance is great, the blood avenger, pursuing the killer in hot anger, may overtake him and strike him down. Yet he did not incur the death penalty, since he had never been the other's enemy. That is why I command you, set aside 3 cities. And when the eternal your God enlarges your territory, as was sworn to your fathers, and gives you all the land that was promised to be given to your fathers, if you faithfully observe all this instruction that I enjoin upon you this day, to love the eternal your God, and to walk in God's ways at all times, then you shall add 3 more towns to those 3. Thus blood of the innocent will not be shed, bringing blood guilt upon you in the land that the eternal your God is allotting to you. If, however, a man who is the enemy of another lies in wait and sets up the victim, and strikes a fatal blow, and then flees to one of these towns, the elders of this town shall have him brought back from there, and shall hand him over to the blood avenger to be put to death. You must show him no pity.
Glenn and Tara, Mazel Tov. It is such a joy to be able to stand with you here today. I was thinking back to when I first met you. You joined as a young family, an actual membership category for people with no children and who came and wanted to be part of the community. And over the 16 years that you've been part of our community, you have brought us so much, most especially Abby and Julia. But you were never people who just dropped the kids at the corner and left. Not ever. And I started to think of what the two of you have brought to our community. And I realized how much we have to be grateful to the two of you, because so much of what we are today is because of you. Then when I look at everything connected to Rock Shabbat, I see your handiwork. I see your designs. I see your styles. I see you're helping us figure out what it was supposed to look like. And your skill, someone said before, having a skill. Your skill that you have and that you've blessed us with is visible everywhere you go around here. I've loved that you've studied with me, that you've been part of our men's group, and that you've also brought that guy around. Kid Kosher, right. That's it. You know, he's been cool too. I mean, I really like seeing him around. That's him if you don't. Just, okay, so we know. It was really cool. Thanks for bringing him around too, because it was neat. We have very few members. I would say, as a community made up largely of Jews, we have very few people who can keep a beat. And no, you can. It's really cool. So thank you. Tara, for years, you took on the most thankless job in this synagogue, which was counting service script and helping us to make sure that our students knew what they had to do and were comfortable around here. And you did it with grace and with dignity, even when people yelled at you. And you have always been part of education. You've been part of helping us create the education program that we have for our children. And more than that, you're just someone that whenever we needed something, we could say, Tara, could you help? And you did. And so as you celebrate here today, I hope you both feel that this is your community, because it is from the day you arrived here, through bringing your girls to the Torah, through everything you've done to make us better. You've created this community. And today, all of us celebrate with you. We thank you. We give you our mazel tov. And now we invite you to speak to your newest bat mitzvah.
It's okay, Jules. We can share. There's more. Okay. Oh no. My baby girl, Jules. You came onto this earth during Tropical Storm Ernesto. And you haven't stopped taking the world by storm. You never let anything hold you back. Your personality lights up a room, and everybody can feel your positive energy. You have always been independent, sassy, and smart. You work hard with determination in everything you do, from your schoolwork to your sports. You help make it look easy even when it's not. Kind of like when you get straight A's and you shy away from when we congratulate you. Or when you qualified for the cross-country safari run and you didn't think you should be there, but you did a great job. Or you made the school basketball team, or, and this is my favorite and most recent, when you were playing in nationals and you hit a home run, but you didn't think it was one even though you scored and got around all the bases. Remember, I always love to watch you play. Never give up. Sassy defines you. Lively, bold, and wise. You have possessed this since the day you were born. Your little smirk let me know I'd have my hands full as you got older. We sometimes butt heads and disagree, but your sass makes you who you are. Stay strong, my friend. You are a leader. Never forget that. You're able to lead others in your direction. You never steer anyone wrong. Always remember to be a leader and not the follower. Let your heart be your guide. As I said to your sister, growing up Jewish in a secular world is not an easy task, but you have embraced it. You have never shied away from letting others know that you are Jewish, especially today when you have become a bat mitzvah. From our traditional holidays spent with the Zeltzers to attending services on Friday nights You'll always remember that the sanctuary is like your second home. You feel the love and safety when you are here. My wish for you is to continue to be proud as a Jew. And I hope that one day, Dad and I will celebrate a Hanukkah party that you run, or lead the Seder, as Dad will always make his matzo ball soup for you. Finally, I love the young lady you're becoming. I enjoy hearing the laughter from your room when you have 2 or more likely 10 friends come over, and then they all convince me that they needed a sleepover and then go to the mall the next day. I cherish our shopping sprees and our little secret runs to Dunkin'. I have to have you to love is one of my greatest joys on this earth. If you ever feel overwhelmed, remember whose daughter you are and straighten that crap. You will always be Mommy's little storm. I love you with all my heart and soul and being. Never ever change my little jewels.
I actually finished writing what I wanted to say to you today 3 months ago. But 3 weeks ago, I decided I didn't like what I had written, so I threw it away and I started over from scratch. I decided to simply speak to you from the heart. Julia, Jules, Julesy, and sometimes little Jeter. You truly are my beautiful gift from God, and I wish you could see yourself through my eyes. You would see a beautiful, sweet, intelligent, athletic, and independent young woman with an amazing smile and a huge heart. We may not see eye to eye on a great many things, but I do believe we see heart to heart on most. I've always been proud of you from seeing you excel in academics on the Distinguished Honor Roll for far longer than I can accurately recall, to National Junior Honor Society, as well as to your many sports, both school and travel. I admire your love for the sports you play and the professional players you call your heroes, such as Derek Jeter and Aaron Judge, who doesn't yet know that one day you will marry him. I remember when I was your age, I had several ball players that I considered my heroes, and it's been said that most people wait a lifetime to meet their heroes. Although my heroes have changed many times over the years, I'm blessed to say that I haven't had to wait that long to meet one of my current heroes. Among the many accomplishments, stats, and performances, both on and off the playing field, I most admire the fact that this particular hero calls me Dad. Yes, Julia, you are my hero and my favorite ball player, even if you won't allow me to cheer out loud for you during your games. You always give your best, whether it's at practice or a game, and you are always hardest on yourself, even when you don't need to be. I feel that one of your best traits is that you don't strive to be the best on the team, but rather the best for the team. And this goes for everything you do in life. And I'm confident that you will continually evolve to become a better version of yourself than you were yesterday, and also to make a positive impact on the world. You needn't only do big things to make a positive impact. Numerous little things will be sufficient and will add up to the same significance of one big thing and won't overwhelm you. As Confucius said, the person who moves mountains begins by carrying away small stones. Studying and reading Torah with you these past few months in preparation for today, while difficult at times, was one of my greatest experiences and privileges. Being able to hear your Hebrew reading development and overall confidence building was awe-inspiring to say the least. I know you considered giving up a few times, and I'm glad you dug deep to find the inner strength and determination that I know you to possess in order to reach today. I'm proud of you. I believe in you. I love you. Today isn't the end of the journey, but rather the end of the beginning of your life's journey. As you go out into the world, I want you to take with you my 3 favorite things to say to you before a game. Do your best, have fun, and always remember, I love to watch you play. Mazel tov.
Please rise if you are able.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. יאללה לה 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 לה, יאללה לה 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 לה, יאללה לה לה לה, יאללה לה 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 לה. Yalla la la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la. Yalla la 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 la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la la la, yalla la 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 la. Yalla la la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la. Yalla la 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 la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la 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 la, yalla la 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 la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
Go back to your seats because you're pulling this in. Please be seated. The Haftarah is a selection from the prophetic writings, which the rabbis of ancient times chose to complement each week's Torah portion. However, during the weeks leading up to Rosh Hashanah, this time in the month of Elul, the Haftarah takes on a different purpose for all of us. Each of the Haftarot during this month is called a Nechama, a consolation. As we start the process of Teshuvah, the process of returning to God, if we do it honestly and realize the number of times we have fallen short, we start to wonder if God really wants us back. Have we fallen too far? And so each of these Haftarot from the book of Isaiah comes along to say, no, God is waiting for us. God is waiting for us to return. If we take even the first step back toward God, God will go the rest of the way. And so in this Haftarah, we have the beautiful words, how beautiful are the feet of the messenger who brings good tidings of God's salvation. And so this comes to us to help us figure out what it means to start on this path back toward God as we approach the holiest days of the year. The blessings for the Haftarah are on page 372.
Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who has chosen faithful prophets to speak words of truth. Praise to you, Adonai, for the revelation of Torah for your servant Moses, for your people Israel, and for your prophets of truth and righteousness. Awake, awake, clothe yourself in strength, O Zion. Array yourself in robes of splendor. O holy city of Jerusalem, never again shall the uncircumcised and impure enter you. Shake off the dust and rise up, captive Jerusalem. Strip the chain off your neck, O captive daughter of Zion. For thus say the Eternal One, as you were sold for nothing, so you shall be redeemed without money. For thus says the Eternal God, long ago my people dwelled in Egypt, and later Assyria oppressed them without cause. Now then, says the Eternal One, what do I find here? My people are carried off for nothing, their captors howl. My name is reviled continually all through the day. Be sure then, my people shall learn my name. Be sure on that day they shall learn that I am the one who speaks. Here I am. How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of the herald who brings good tidings, who proclaims peace, the messenger of good tidings, who proclaims deliverance, who says to Zion, your God reigns. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, rock of creation, righteous one of all generations, the faithful God whose word is deed, whose every command is just and true. For the Torah, for the privilege of worship, for the prophets, and for this Shabbat that you, Adonai our God, have given us. For holiness and rest, for honor and glory, we give thank and bless you. May your name be blessed forever and by every living being. Praise to you, Adonai, for the Sabbath and its holiness.
Amen. At the beginning of the 7th grade year, Julie and her classmates worked together to create a blessing for each other, a blessing that they would each say for each other as they came one by one to the Torah. So now I ask the members of Julia's class to rise and to share their blessing for their classmate today.
At this moment, as your Jewish journey is progressing, we hope this memory stays in your heart for the rest of your life. Reading from the Torah that has been passed down for generations should make you proud of your religion and encourage you to expand your Jewish knowledge and share your heritage with others. We are links in a chain that connects us to God. So today, as you become a bar mitzvah, we offer you this blessing, that you will continue to teach that one person can make a difference, that you will understand that everything you say and everything you do matters, not for religion, but because it is right, and that you should always remember that you are not alone. May Judaism stay with you as you grow in age and wisdom.
Page 374, please rise if you are able.
יעלו את שם אדוני, ישכח שמו לבדו, הודו על ארץ ושמיים, וירא כרמו, תהילה לכל חסידיו, לבני ישראל המקרותו, הללויה, הללויה, הילקח טוב, נתתי לכם, תורתי, אל תעזובו, עץ חיים היא, למחזיקים בה, ותומכיה, מאושת דרכיה, דרכי נוח, וכל נתיבותיה, שלום. השיבנו אדוני, מלך ונשובה, התשמענו כקדם.
Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, our God and God of our parents, grandparents, and ancestors. We thank you for this day and for the years of growth and learning that led to it. Now, as Julia becomes bat mitzvah, responsible for your commandments, we rejoice with her and with her family. Dear God, help us all to become worthy examples for our children. Let nothing separate us from them, and let nothing separate us from you, the source of all goodness and love. Help us again and again to renew our commitment to the covenant of Israel, to walk hand in hand with our children and with our parents in the ways of righteousness and truth. We pray that the memory of today's service will long inspire this young Jew May it teach her that today is only the beginning of a life dedicated to study, to mitzvot, to deeds of justice and kindness and love. We ask your blessing upon Julia in the ancient words of our people. God bless you and protect you. May the light of God's face shine on you, and may God be good to you. May God's face always be lifted up upon you. May God always watch over you, and may God bless you with peace. Please be seated.
Growing up at Temple Rodeph Torah has made a huge impact on my life. From Sunday morning religious school to Friday evening services. When I was little, I never wanted to leave, especially on Shabbat, and I've always enjoyed my time here at TRT. Being Jewish makes me feel special and important. I always feel safe and welcome at TRT, while the people here are another family for me that I will never forget. Everything always feels right, and I appreciate everyone here. As such, TRT has a huge part of my heart. Now I would like to talk about my Torah portion, Deuteronomy chapter 19, verses 1 through 12, which tells us of an unnamed person swinging an axe that kills another accidentally. There is more to the world than just right and wrong. Sometimes there are additional things going on to consider when looking for justice. I chose this part for my Torah portion because I find it very relatable to my life. I think about it and I get a good picture of what it means, such as it talks about the difference between accidentally doing something that ends badly and doing something intentionally that ends badly. To make this more relatable to life, I think of it as this. Say I'm at my softball game playing. Shocker, right? I'm up to bat and I get a great pitch thrown to me. I swing, I foul it, and it ends up banging someone in the head and they get seriously injured. I didn't mean for it to happen. It was unintentional. Yes, this is a bad thing that happened as a result of my actions, but the outcome wasn't my intention. From another angle, suppose I'm warming up in the outfield before the next inning and I get really angry at someone watching the game. And I take the ball and throw it at them on purpose, causing injury. It's highly likely I will get taken out of the game because that wasn't an accident, and my coaches will know it. It was intentional, mean, and likely to have more than just one consequence. You can also consider the idea of intentionally hurting people this way. Imagine I'm swinging my bat in the garage with my bonnet to catch the balls, and a car is on the other side. I miss the tee, and the ball goes flying into the car window, breaking it. Oh no. The first thing I might do is panic, but when I tell my mom or dad what happened, I can try to make things right. I can clean up the pieces of glass and offer to give money to help it get fixed because although I didn't mean for it to happen, it still did happen. I think people get often mixed up with the difference between fault caused by one's actions intentionally versus unintentionally. Now imagine you get into a huge fight with your dad or mom. So you take the ball and just throw it at the window, causing it to shatter. You're now in big trouble because that was no accident. You say you tripped, and whoops, the ball hits the window. Obviously, your parents know you have done something bad on purpose. since you were just fighting with them and now you have to clean it up all by yourself, put in the money to pay for repairs, and probably get grounded because the action was intentional. This clearly means to me that there's a difference between accidental and on purpose. The right thing to do if you cause something bad to happen is to help out however you can to fix it and make it right if it's possible. You might realize what a horrible thing you did and learn a lesson that you might teach others from it. If I bring it back to what I said before about hitting someone with a softball by accident, run over to ask them if they're okay. Apologize and make sure it doesn't happen again. Guilt sometimes has a way to motivate us to strive to do better when we do bad things by accident. The Torah tells us to pursue justice, but it doesn't tell us to achieve it because only God can do that. We need to own our actions, both good and bad, and try to be a better person tomorrow than we might have been today or yesterday. I really like this part of my Torah portion because it makes me want to be a better version of myself. It is really relatable to life and laws. Mistakes are what make us human, and not everyone accepts that. No one is perfect, and no one should ever try to think they are because it's just impossible. You can try your best to act as perfect as you want, but it is not usually perfect to everyone else. People use those mistakes and should try to make them better, but it doesn't always work out that way. This can relate to going to jail. Say you rob a store to feed your family. You go to jail, take your punishment, and you either pursue your justice by learning a better way to solve your problems, or you just go back to being a criminal. You can do the right thing and maybe take notice of how many banks and other stores get robbed, and you want to create a cause to try to prevent as much robberies as there are. The right thing to do after making a bad mistake, you would rather do that and make yourself become a good person than to get out of your punishment and just start acting up again. Then you will never learn to do the right thing. I have learned so much from this portion, and there is so much more I would like to learn about it. More people need to take charge when they do wrong and pursue justice to make things right. People have high expectations of people, and if you're just going to choose to do bad things and you're not going to do anything to fix it, no one is going to ask you to help with things. Be a leader, one to count on, one to lean on when someone is down. That's the kind of person everyone should shoot for and try to be. That's the way things should work. To make this more sense, it's like you're going to want to hang out with the friends that make you happy and like you for who you are. You don't want to be friends with that bully you or make you sad and who use you for things. In life, that's how you live and learn. If you don't learn, how do you expect to do great things? How do you expect to make wrong things right? Now I'd like to move on to some more things with this topic. What it means to become a bat mitzvah. To me, that means I have a high expectation of being a Jew. I want to do right. I want to be a role model and someone others can lean on and learn from. Going to high holy day services, go to evening Shabbat services, say prayers even when I'm not in temple, light candles on Hanukkah, have a Seder on Passover. I have a higher responsibility as a result of becoming a bat mitzvah. These are things that make me feel like a Jew, constantly doing Jewish things. We have many Jewish paintings and items in my house. For example, each bedroom door has a mezuzah on it that was given as a special gift. Every time I'm entering or leaving my room, I can just look and feel how proud I am to be Jewish. As I get older, I think my role model as a Jew will be listening to and following more commandments, as well as teaching my future children how to be a good Jew. These commandments would be to always know God exists, because when in trouble, I can always talk to God, and to not cherish hatreds for one's heart, because no one wants to hold a grudge forever. And I'm at that age where friendships do end, but if one ends, don't use your hatred against them. Just simply ignore them and not start any drama, and all will be good. It will be good without holding a grudge. If I could teach one thing about Judaism to everyone I love, it would be to try your best to make a positive difference with your life. I would like to take this time to thank a few people. I wouldn't be here without any of them. Thank you, Mrs. Butel, for being the most amazing and understanding Hebrew tutor I could ever ask for. I wouldn't be able to read Hebrew without you. Next, I would like to thank Rabbi Weber. Thank you for the lessons and advice you have given me over the years. Thank you for encouraging me and telling me I can do this. Thank you, Cantor Lawrence, for the extra help and for singing prayers with me. Thank you for experiencing your first bat mitzvah at TRT with me. I will never leave the room after talking with you without a smile on my face. Thank you to my parents. Thank you, Mom, for helping this all happen, and thank you, Dad, for always believing in me. Thank you, Abby. I love you guys. And thank you.
Nicely done. Okay, do you want to take a drink?
It was in there. I don't know where it went.
It was in there. It's not
It
in there
was.
now. I'm looking at it. It's not there. So
Oops.
Abby probably took it out. It's her
Yeah,
fault.
you probably deleted it.
Okay, my turn. Julia, Mazel Tov. Thank you. Thank you for leading us in prayer beautifully, really beautifully, and reading Torah and teaching Torah. And you really dove into this portion, and I love it. I love what you did. And I want to pick on one phrase that you used when you said no one's perfect. That phrase can be used in two completely different ways. In our society, a lot of people use it to justify everything they do wrong. Well, no one's perfect. Okay, so what? No, they're done. No one's perfect, so I did something wrong, so tough luck. And a great number of people in our society embrace that phrase. Like, just it doesn't matter. No, I'm not perfect. I made a mistake. I did it wrong. And so you move on, get past it, my mistake. You took it completely differently. You took it and said, no one's perfect, so we have to keep working. Thank you. Thank you. Because there are a whole lot of people out there telling us that nothing is our fault and nothing is our responsibility. And some things, like you said, some things are our fault. We set out to do something wrong, and we do something wrong. And if we're caught, there's a punishment. But you spent most of the time working on this big middle area. It wasn't right, but I didn't mean to do it wrong. And again, a lot of times in our society, if I didn't mean to do it wrong, then tough luck that I did it wrong and you suffer the consequences. You said very clearly, if something happened that I caused, even if I didn't intend it at all, my job is to understand what happened and to try to make it right. Do you know that all we need in our world is more people who are committed to making it right? So many people are interested only in whose fault it was. If I know it's your fault, then I'm out of here. What if we just all stopped worrying about that and instead said, how do we do this justice thing? How do we make it right? You know, I said last night that it says justice twice. Tzedek, tzedek tirdof. Justice, justice shall you pursue. And Rashi, the commentator, said that's to pursue justice when it's easy and to pursue justice when it's really hard. And I think the harder ones is when you go, like, you know, I didn't mean that. But someone still suffered as a result. Let me go out of my way. Let me do this. Let me help to repair the window. Let me go over to the person and see if they're okay. Let's see if we can figure out a way that this doesn't happen again. It's not a little deal. So many people will look now at the fact that there are hungry people in our community, in our world, and say, well, I didn't do it. And we didn't. But they think they're done. But that's not what we Jews do. We Jews say, how do we make this just? Because while we didn't do it, the people who are hungry didn't do it either. Let's stop worrying about who's guilty. Let's stop worrying about who did it. Do just what you said. How do we make this right? I love that you spoke about that. I really do, and that you really gave us examples to understand what it means. Because if each of us just did some of that, not our whole lives, just some of that, picked one thing that we saw that's wrong in the world that we worked to make right, God, this world will be awesome. So you want to be a leader? You want to be a Jewish leader? Please lead this. Lead people away from no one's perfect to no one's perfect. Same words. Now that no one's perfect, what do? How do we take this imperfect world, because only God's perfect, how do we take this imperfect world and set it right? If you could lead that, your generation will do better than mine did. And we need that very, very much. You have been here since you were born, which means we really know you. And we love you. Okay, that's the problem, with being a long time, right? So, and having watched you grow since you were born, It is so wonderful to see you standing here now and taking your place in the Jewish community. I wish you much more. I wish you more learning, more growing, more teaching, and please God for the next generation, more leadership coming from you. The world will be better for your having done that. Mazel tov. I'm very, very proud of you. I'm going to use my left hand here. It is my honor to give you your bat mitzvah certificate, which I hope will remind you of what you taught us today. And along with that, it's also my honor to give you, on behalf of the whole Reform movement, a gift certificate toward a trip to Israel when you're in high school. Because there is so much more to learn about being Jewish, and some you can learn here, and some you can only learn there. And I hope that this gets you started on that stage of your journey as well. I give it to you with my congratulations to you, and mazel tov to your family. It is now my honor to introduce Dan Schleifstein, a member of our board of directors, to make a presentation on behalf of our congregation.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Julie and Mazel Tov. It's my honor to be here today to represent the temple for this very special day. Thank you for leading our congregation in prayer. It's now my pleasure to give you some gifts that we have here. We have 100. First, we have a copy of text messages, Torah commentary for teens. They didn't have this when I was up here in 1996, but we have this here now. And we have a Kiddush cup from the Men's Club and Sisterhood. It's my hope that you will use these going forward in your life as a Jew and building your family. I want to congratulate the Fuchs family and say mazel tov to all of your family and friends that are here today. Thank you to the Fuchs family for sponsoring the oneg that follows the service. And again, mazel tov. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
I know you keep hearing this, but I want to offer mine as well. A big mazel tov to you on this very special day, and of course the whole family and friends. To continue a bit of the lesson that you gave us about pursuing justice, and the fact that, yes, we're not perfect, but what do we do? I very much look at this as a process, that we're not going to get perfect overnight, or even get close to it. It takes time. And yes, there's certainly that impatience that is inside a lot of us. Well, we have these problems. Why aren't they done yet? Why haven't we taken care of them yet? When looking in Pirkei Avot, in the ethics of our ancestors, they offer a phrase that I think is very apropos to all of this. One of my favorites. Lo alecha hamalacha ligmor, velo ata venchorin lehi batel mimena. It's not on you to finish that work, but neither are you free to abstain from it. It requires, it's used, of course, for, in this case, education, how we're always learning, always growing, always developing, but I think it also very much applies to what you are giving us, that the work of justice and the work of repair is an ongoing process. It takes time and vigilance and action in order for each step to come into place, in order to build the world that you and I so very much desire. So I want to leave you with this. Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, lo alecha ligmor. If you know, please join in. Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, lo alecha ligmor, velo ata ven chorin lehi batel mimena, velo ata ven chorin, velo ata ven chorin lehi batel mimena, velo ata ven chorin. Let's trust the process and do so together. Mazal tov.
We continue together in the middle of page 586. Please rise if you are able. Give me a moment.
Loading, please wait. Aleinu l'shameach l'adon hakol, l'teker l'yotzeh b'reishit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'kol aleinu kekol hamonav, v'anachnu korim, u'nishtachavim u'modim, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 588.
שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסי הארץ ומשה יקרו בשמיים ממעל ושכינתו זו בגוהי מרומים הוא אלוהינו אינו, הוא אלוהינו אינו, אמת מלכנו, אפס זולתו. כך כתוב בתורתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום, והשבות אל לבבך. כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת, מתחתנו. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא, יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
Kaddish is on page 598. Those we remember this week, those who died recently, and those whose yahrzeits occurred this week are listed on the announcement sheet that you received. In addition, we remember those who, though they are not here physically, are very much part of this service and very much part of our celebration. We remember Joseph Salvatore and Louise Shivo, Joseph and Rose Pizzo, Walter and Helen Neiman, William and Minna Fuchs, Rebecca and Leo Evans, and Teresa Levy. We thank God for the gift of their lives, and we praise God for the blessing of their memory. And so in their memory and in honor of God, their Creator, we join together in Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divera chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imru amen.
Amen.
Yehi shemei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lalmei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shmei dekudsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran v'alma v'yimru amen.
Amen.
Yehi shlama rabbah min shmaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu va'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Amen.
May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel and to all the world, to which we say, Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'im
turn now to Kiddush as we thank God for all our blessings, all the blessings we have on this day. Kiddush is on page 604, and to join us we invite Julia, Glenn, Tara, and Abby, Mort and Judy Evans, Jerry and Sandy Evans, and Debbie and Don Babashak.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. על כן ברכת יום השבת ויקדשהו, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. לחיים. Enjoy.
Our concluding song, Ein Kelohinu, is on page 626. Following the benediction, we ask you to remain at your seats, just relax and enjoy before you head off on your way. Page 626.
Ein Kelohenu, ein Kadonenu, ein Kemalkenu, ein Kemoshienu, mi Elohenu, mi Adonenu, mi Kemalkenu, mi Kemoshienu. Nodel Elohenu, nodel Adonenu, nodel Malkenu, nodel Moshienu. Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Atu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu.
Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, our God and God of our ancestors, we thank you for all your blessings on this Shabbat day. We thank you for the beautiful world in which we live. We thank you for the promise of creation being renewed in every season and every year and every generation. We thank you for the promise of a bright future for our people as we watch our next generation stand so proudly and take its place in the chain of Jewish tradition. Dear God, with all these gifts that you have given us, we ask but one more of you on this day. We pray that you will bless us with the most precious of all your gifts. We pray that you will bless us with wholeness, with completeness, with peace, all of which is shalom. We pray that you bless us and all Israel and all the world with a day of Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to everyone.
And as you go on your journey, I hope that this is blessed.